And away we go. I guess I'm live. Am I live? Here I am. Greetings, everyone. It is 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time where I am in the middle of nowhere in Georgia, reaching out to the rest of the world. And we'll go ahead and see who is here with us this afternoon. Well, it's afternoon where I am. I see Saturday Morning Fan is there, loves the thumbnail. Thank you. That's me without the beard. I do actually have a chin. K Munin is here. Who else is here? Nerd is here. Custom God is here. Did I get a new crown? Yeah, something like that. Pastor Rick is here. Glad you could all join us. Yeah, I have the crown. The crown's right here. The crown's right here. I don't have another one, at least not yet. I mean, sooner or later, you might need to get another one. But yeah, I've got the crown sitting right here. We've been out today. Some of you might have seen the short that I did earlier because we did go to an estate sale and we went to a flea market and we went to an antique mall and a couple of other things to putter around. And I did have some finds. I did have some things that I can show today. I see that K Munin had asked about Funko. I had mentioned in the last or yesterday's roundup, the weekly roundup, about Funko and their imminent demise, and that we will be doing, that's my wife and I doing a video. Hopefully I can get it up, filmed and up next week about Funko and the situation that they're in. A lot of things have happened that I predicted years ago, and people just, Funko community got mad. The fun addicts got all angry with me, but I wasn't trying to rank on Funko. I'm just telling the truth about the direction it looked like it was going in, and they are there now. And yes, Custom, I understand. He says I was commenting on the crown in the picture of the video. Yeah, that's a picture of me that was converted from a picture of the two of us together before I had the facial hair. Because if it was up to my wife, I'd have like a ZZ Top beard and no hair on my head. She always wants to shave my head, get me to cut my hair. And Pastor Rick made a donation to the channel, something for the kiddie pool, he says, which of course he means the actual felines, the cats that we take care of. Thank you, Pastor Rick. They're all doing great. I have some pictures of them queued up. If anybody wants to see cats today, let me know. As well as a couple of other things that I can share with everyone, because why not? Why not? There's Chris. He says, more chins than a Chinese phone book. Oh no, did I lose my video? Damn this thing, come on. For some reason, that camera is just really sensitive and does that. Let me see what I can do here to get that up and running again, because that is really aggravating. That is really aggravating that it does this. And Robert is joining us. Hang on, Robert, while I get the camera back online. There it is. There it is. Pain in the butt. I don't know why it does that. But yeah, if anybody is interested, I've got the pictures of the cats queued up. I may just show them anyways. Munin says they went to stores today and all of them had the pops on clearance. Burlington had con exclusives for $5. Yeah, but and that's something that we'll get into in the discussion. Again, I predicted it years ago, and like I think we did a video like 5 years ago or more. It was around the time that they became publicly traded. I talked about it extensively, and people were mad. Oh man, Funko, those fun addicts were mad at me, but I wasn't picking on the product or anything. It's just some basic facts about fads and toys and interest and marketing and all of that. And they were upset, but we're there now. We are there now. This is where we're at now, directly with what's going on with Funko. But yeah, we went out today, and of course, father-in-law is still here today. Saturday marks week 14. Week 14. Still trying to find a placement for him. He's still very difficult to deal with. And she's with him right now. And again, she's been encouraging me to just go ahead and do the lives anyways, without her, unfortunately. I prefer to do them with her. I like being around my wife. We get along really well, and I enjoy her company. But we did manage to get out today. We went to an estate sale. I did a short about the estate sale. Who saw the short? Who in here saw the short that I did about the estate sale? I can probably queue it up and show it. If you have not seen it, or otherwise, please do check it out on the channel. I hope you're watching all the videos on the channel. I need all the help I can get. But anyways, they were outrageous. They were absolutely outrageous at this estate sale. And we went on to, garage sale, flea market, and then ultimately the antique mall. And I saw something at the antique mall I really want, but I don't, it's just not plausible at this time for me to run out and just buy that. And I'll show you what it is. I am going to show you what it is. Don't worry. I want to pull up that short if you have not seen it. And I'll show you the short from this morning. Yeah, Munin says the first comment they ever made on the channel was how long till the bottom falls out for Funko. Yeah, it's getting there. It's very close. It's very close to like an end game solution for Funko. They're about done. Let me see. I'm going to pull this short up, and with the audio, and you just let me know if the audio is okay, and I'm going to show it to you right now. Robert wants to know about the Monsters Inc. thing. Oh yeah, I can show that short too if you haven't seen it. The Monsters Inc. That's actually a store display, and I'll show that also, and we could talk about it because it's amazing, and it's something else I wish I could get. Just no way. But this is the short that I took at the estate sale this morning. This happened. I did this morning, and check this out. What you see there is a Fisher-Price schoolhouse. Okay, on the top, in the middle, the green piece there is the Play School Familiar Places Holiday Inn playset, and then on the bottom there is the Play School Familiar Places McDonaldland playset. Okay. Now, for context, all three of these pieces are missing components. They do have some broken pieces, and oh boy, are they filthy. They are really, really filthy. Like they've been sitting in an attic for 50 years, filthy, and caked with grime and dust, and even sticky to the touch. Okay. So a lot of very delicate cleaning would be involved here. All right. And here's my short. I'll go ahead and run it. Found these at an estate sale, but look at these prices. Now that McDonaldland playset, they get 45. These Holiday Inn playset, 125. To those like professionally run estate sales with it. And Fisher-Price schoolhouse, $50. $50. Okay, that's the prices. Let me go ahead and run it again. Found these at an estate sale, but look at these prices. These are those like professionally run estate sales where they think they know everything's worth value, and they look it up on eBay and they find the highest possible price, and I'm just like, God, that is way too much for these. Loose, incomplete, played with condition. I just don't know. Because those are things I definitely would have picked up. Okay. Sure. I mean, Play School, Familiar Places, Holiday Inn, and McDonald's. Sure. And the Fisher-Price Schoolhouse. Sure. I'll buy something like that even loose, and I'd keep it. I'm not a flipper. I mean, or at the very least, use it to combine up pieces for my play sets in case I'm missing any, because I do have the Holiday Inn and the McDonald's already. Maybe I can upgrade, but I'd have to clean it. There are broken components. Things are missing. You know what I mean? 45, 125, and $50. Holy crap. I mean, that's $210 altogether. Okay. And so I go downstairs. Now, this is one of those professional estate sale operations. All right. And I hate those because there's nothing organic about it. You got people that are trying to sell stuff at an estate sale. That's one thing. But when you hire a service, and I understand why a lot of people would want to hire a service, okay? Because there's a million things in the house. They inherited it, or somebody died, Nana died, and we got to sell the house. You don't want to be bothered. You hire a company to come in and do this, right? And they come in and they price everything, but they think everything is freaking gold. And they look on eBay and they see some big prices and they just make assumptions. And I'm like, in that condition, and I didn't argue with them because there's no point. In that condition, they're not worth that, especially if I've got to scrub everything. All right. Because like I said, they were so dirty, they were actually sticky to the touch. And I went and I asked, and I said, hey, I wanted to inquire about those play sets that you have upstairs. And she was like, oh, you mean like that McDonald's and stuff? Yeah, a lot of people have been asking about those. I really have to stay true to the price on those. Basically, there will be no deal. There will be no deals on these, is what she's saying. And I'm like, yeah, that's why a lot of people are asking about it and it ain't selling, is because a lot of people are like, and most of the people that are looking at those are probably flippers anyway, or looking at it like, I can't get any money out of these, even at half price. If it was 50% off, you couldn't make your money out of it when you broke it down. I don't think so. Yeah, for Saturday Morning says, dang, I bought Popeye olive oil and Doctor Who glass figures for $1 at an estate sale. Yeah, that's probably a privately run estate sale as opposed to something like this. That's too much. That's too much. And that offends me. And that makes me not even want to bother with anything else. I'm like, nah, I'm kind of done. Thanks anyways. Thanks anyways. I am done. Because who wants to pay that? Who wants to pay that? And the thing that Robert was just talking about, I'll show this one also, since Robert was inquiring. And I'll share this little clip also. I was at a different antique mall, and I think it's the one in Cobb. And these are life-size store displays from like the Disney store. That the Sully and what's the other guy's name? I forget. Sully is like 6 feet tall. Okay, he's like about my height. He's about my height. Okay, and there's Stone Sour. I'll have to show some cat photos now for sure. Robert thinks the $45 one wasn't so bad. No, that wasn't so bad. Mike, thank you. Custom God said the other one was Mike. Mike and Sully. They're 1-to-1 scale. 1-to-1 scale. And the Sully is articulated at the shoulders, okay? And he's a big plush, but with a solid body. I'll play this.
Here's something else really unique here. The Cobb Antique Mall in Georgia. Life-sized Monsters, Inc. display. And I'm not kidding, see? Without touching it, because I don't want it. It says, please don't touch. Mike and Sully, life-size. Store display. And yeah, it's plush. Sully is fur. Has fur. I'll go around really quick, show you the whole thing. It looks like the shoulders are articulated. $4,500. Must be nice. I'd love to get something like this for the museum, but yeah, price range just out of the question, but really unique. I love seeing really unique stuff like this.
So 1-to-1 scale, life size, Sully and Mike. Robert, they're being sold as a set. He says, how much for the green guy? They're being sold as a set only, $4,500. And odds are the guy who owns that got it off Facebook Marketplace for $100. But $4,500. And I was like, oh, I wish I could do that. And of course, my wife's like, no way. Where the hell would you put it? Right there. I'll stand them up right behind me, right behind me while I do the live stream. I sure as hell would. And Stone Sour, of course, yeah, made a donation to the channel. Thank you, Stone Sour, for the cats, he says, for the cats. But I love seeing unique things like that. I would absolutely, I mean, if I found that on Facebook Marketplace for $100, I'd have to do it. You know, I would do it, and I'd bring him here, and my wife would be like, what are you going to do with that? Like I said, I'll stand him right here. I'll stand him right up here in the middle of the room and just turn the table. And that way on the live streams, Mike and Sully can be standing behind me, like waving. That would be fantastic. I would totally freaking do that. But that's what Robert was asking about, you guys. That's what Robert was asking about. And I'll go ahead and I'll show these cats here really quick, because I do have that queued up. And then I'll show you what I picked up today, because I did have some pickups today. I did have some pickups today, but we'll start with some kitty cats. Because why not? Because why not? Because some of you guys were generous enough to make a donation to our shelter cats. So you may as well take a look at them. That's Miss Kitty, who's so adorable, she hugs herself. And there's Dr. Cohen joining us. Glad you could make it all the way from Massachusetts. All the way from Massachusetts. But yeah, there's Miss Kitty hugging herself, laying on the sofa in her favorite spot. And Johnny's joining us. Glad you could make it, Johnny. Who else have we got? There is Granny Smith sitting in front of the sofa, because no matter where I go, those two are there. They follow me around. One lays on me and one lays on my foot. And Granny Smith's the one that lays on my foot. And then, of course, that's what we're talking about right there, cat life. This is what I look at every day. If I sit down on the sofa, this is what I get. There's Miss Kitty on my lap. There's Daniel laying next to me, and then Monkey laying behind Daniel, because Monkey follows. Basically, Monkey is Daniel's cat. Monkey ignores me most of the time and follows Daniel around, plays with Daniel, sleeps next to Daniel, which is fine. Again, Monkey was supposed to be adopted. I kept him to be a companion to Daniel because Daniel loved it. Okay. Daniel just seemed to really click. And I was like, all right, you can stay. But yeah, if I sit down, this is what I get. And Granny Smith is laying on my other foot, by the way, but you can't see her in that photo. And Johnny says it's been a good few weeks. Okay, but glad I can make it today. Yeah, glad you could make it too. Yeah, Pastor Rick loves seeing the kitties. And Custom says that they think they're couch cousins. As long as everybody gets along. Johnny says, can't remember the name of the final cat you caught. How is he doing? Spice. And he's doing all right. He's still scared to death of me, though. I can't get close to him. But he's here, and he's reunited with the Clouder, and he's doing good. He looks good. He looks good. He just still not approachable. Doesn't appreciate me. That's okay. I'll take care of him anyways. But yeah, that's the cat life. There's Granny Smith again, because that's what she does. Only usually she's sitting on my foot. And then there's everybody. Daniel is peeking at me. And those are the three, Miss Kitty, Daniel, and Monkey, that sleep in the bed. Granny Smith sleeps under the bed, and Uncle sleeps in the doorway. Uncle sleeps in the doorway. But yeah, back to shopping today. Yes, shopping. So put the crown on. No, I did not wear the crown shopping. I did not wear the crown while I was out shopping. But again, we went to that estate sale. The estate sale pissed me off because of the way that they priced everything. But we did have some other luck otherwise. And I'll show you some of what we picked up here. Now, this is a Fisher-Price Adventure People stunt plane. Still has the pilot. And this is actually kind of dirty. It does need to be cleaned, but it is the stunt plane. It's intact. And it does have the original proper pilot. This is the correct pilot. And he even has a picture of the plane on his back. And he does, like I said, it does need to be cleaned up. But $1. $1. I'll take that for $1. I'll buy that for $1. I do have a bunch of loose Fisher-Price Adventure People stuff. They're not on display anywhere, but I got them. And Eric is here. He says, got to admit, Monkey is probably my favorite for his youthful mischief nature. Yeah, he never grew up. Monkey is a fitting name for him because usually at the age that he is, cats have matured and slowed down. Monkey has not. He still behaves like he's a 4-month-old kitten, bouncing around all over the house, chasing things, playing, jumping all over Daniel all the time and trying to get him to play. And Reston is here, solo today. Yes, unfortunately, again, and I'm sure most of you are aware, my father-in-law, my wife's father, is staying with us because he is quite ill. He has very severe dementia and cannot be really alone. And so the only way I can do the live stream is by myself right now, because if she comes down here, then he'll try to leave. He'll just wander off down the street because he's got wanderlust really, really bad. And Robert wants to know, where's Hobo? Hobo's outside. Hobo's an outdoor cat, but he's also in great shape. And Munin said for $1, the plane and pilot toy is fantastic. Yeah, I mean, if you were to look these up on eBay, loose like this, they probably would go for about $20 plus the shipping and tax. Oh, and by the way, that estate sale where those play sets were overpriced, not only did she say she had to stay true to the pricing on those play sets, but that there would be tax as well. And Dr. Coing said, hoping there is an affordable vintage collectible 2000s version in the works. Love the 70s, 80s, and 90s. I rewatch them all the time. Great comprehensive info for the collector. And Reston, I know what you're, yeah, I was putting together something for that, actually. What Reston is talking, excuse me, what Dr. Cohen is talking about is I did 3 videos. Some of you are aware of that. 70s, 80s, and 90s action figures that are affordable. And yeah, I started setting one up for 2000s, but we didn't have a chance to get to it. Didn't try to get to it. Yeah, sure, Johnny. But yeah, it was just an overpriced estate sale. Who's surprised? But yeah, again, I do have a lot of Fisher-Price Adventure People stuff. I have a handful of boxed pieces, but a lot of loose pieces. And I'll just put this with the loose collection. Sooner or later, I'll find a place to display them. But yeah, for $1, I'll take that. Sure, that was a great deal. That was a great deal. I thought so. And of course, there are a few other things. Now, this is something that the wife was able to grab. And she was we saw these recently at the record show when we did the live stream from the last Atlanta record and CD show, and these were there, but we found them elsewhere. Okay. And as you're aware, my wife is a big Elvis fan. It is the Memphis Press Scimitar special edition for the death of Elvis, the original newspaper, which is, where are we here? August 17th, 1977. I was looking to see if the price was on here. But we saw these at the record show last week. All right, the Memphis, because they had both of them. Okay. And this one is the commercial appeal, August 17th, 1977. And they had both of them. And we saw these both at the record show, and I think the vendor wanted $30 a piece. And we got them for $10 a piece. So $20. Plus this one, the Knoxville News Sentinel, which does have a tear, unfortunately, right there, but they just gave that to her. They just gave that to her. And we do have the newspaper display rack in the corner over there. And so we can put these in the newspaper display rack. But yeah, we just saw this. And anything vintage Elvis related, LPH is just automatically going to be go, oh, it's Elvis. So yeah, we had to get it. We had to get it. So she got those, which was nice. Now I picked this up, and I paid $10 for this. I paid $10 for this. And this is the Richard Scarry's Look and Learn Library in the original schoolhouse or library house display box. Look and Learn Library, complete in the original box. See, and see how the top looks like a roof. And the cardboard is intact. And it's a little, it's a little shelf worn, but it's intact. And the books are in here. And I'm a sucker for Richard Scarry. I love Richard Scarry. I love Richard Scarry. Richard Scarry is classic. And the books are nice and clean. You open them up, and they're not worn out at all. I'm, just looking at how clean these are. I'm like, did anybody ever read these? And this is look how clean this is. And this is the 1971 edition. This is the 1971 edition. And again, I love Richard Scarry. Grew up with Richard Scarry. And to find these in this condition, in this box set, I'll pay $10 for this. I don't know what it goes for off the top of my head. But look at that. It doesn't even want to crack open. I'm like, see, did anyone ever use these books? They really look unused. They are super clean. There's no wear on the spines. And I'm like, wow, you got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding me. And Avid Dash is joining us. And he used to cut the articles and some of the funnies. Yeah, I used to cut the comic strips out too. And Renard is here. He says, I wish that you and LPH had your own classic TV network I would watch all the time. So do I. I've tried to do something like that on this channel, and I do have a handful of vintage holiday specials up that I reinserted original commercials into the commercial blocks to pad it out to the full half hour or the full hour. And you've seen a few of them. Like one of the ones that I've got up, I put it up last year, is the BC Thanksgiving special. And I put all the original commercials back in at the right ad breaks, which is a lot of work, by the way. But some of those YouTube got pissed off at me for, and I got in trouble. Some of them are up and they're fine. Some of them I got in trouble for. Yeah, K Munin says, I imagine it goes for more than 10. I'm not sure what they go for, but I wanted them because I'll do anything. I'll go after anything Richard Scarry if it's a good price. I love Richard Scarry. It's one of those things. Richard Scarry, Tintin. I used to read Tintin when I was a kid. Look at that. It doesn't even want to split open. Like it was never read. Like it was never read. Doesn't even want to open. This spine is uncracked. Look how smooth the spines are on these. Amazing. And I'm just like, wow, I've got to get that. And it was a decent price. I thought it was a decent price. Yeah, Saturday morning said no Thanksgiving specials on TV anymore. Well, I have a Thanksgiving commercial block, vintage 70s and 80s Thanksgiving commercials on the channel. I have a Thanksgiving and Christmas combination department store specifically block. I know I've got a couple of Christmas specials. I've got the Raggedy Ann and Andy Christmas special, which is surprisingly good, from the 1970s, and talks about preserving action figures of all things. Seriously, you should check it out. I've got the BC Thanksgiving special. Some great stuff I've got on the channel. Some great stuff I got on the channel for just the nostalgia of it, because ultimately that's really what we are. I mean, we do the whole Toy King bit and the Crown and all that, and I do toys and comics and vinyl records and whatever, but really it's about the nostalgia. Really, it's about the nostalgia. So yeah, we got the plane cheap. Got my Richard Scarry books, which I'm really thrilled about that. I'm like a kid in a candy store with this kind of stuff. Look and Learn library. My lovely wife's Elvis newspaper memorabilia. Robert wants me to do Halloween. I did. I did that with the Fat Albert Christmas and Halloween. Put the original commercials back in and everything. It took hours and hours of work, and YouTube wouldn't let me put it up. They stopped me. Johnny loves the Fraggle Rock on the shelf back there. Oh yeah, you saw that. That's the ones I got at the estate sale a couple of weeks ago. I did an independent video on it. Move this so you can see better. On the shelf back there behind me. That's almost the complete set of the 1983 Tomy. Dr. Cohen wants to know if there were Man from Atlantis toys. They did like coloring books and I think a frame tray puzzle and oddball stuff like that. T. Stewart wanted to know if Raggedy Ann originated from a horror doll. No, I do believe, if I remember correctly, Raggedy Ann was a creation based on trying to honor the writer whose daughter had died. And Robert says the room looks really good. I appreciate that, Robert. I appreciate that. And Munin says they got lucky today and found the Gundam Universe Epion figures at Walmart. Really? Really? Now, this is something else I picked up at the flea market when we got out to the flea market. Okay. And I was excited about it because I know what it is. Does this look familiar? Anybody ever seen one of these before? I'll tell you what it is anyways, okay? And it is if you know anything about these Santas, your first instinct would be that this is a Rushton Santa, a 16-inch Rushton Coca-Cola Santa, all right? But it is not the Rushton. The Rushton one is the one that was made in the 1950s, looks exactly like this, except that his boots would be white. And he would also have a bottle of Coke, okay? Now, this one is the one that was made by Dakin in 1988, which is a remake of the Rushton version that, again, pretty much looks exactly like this, except for a little color variance. Like I said, the boots would be a different color. Saturday Morning wants to know if I have 80s Disney Channel magazines or HBO magazines. I don't think so. I don't think so. And Johnny's telling me where I can find bags and boards for the newspapers. But this one is the it's still vintage. 1988 Dakin. And this one was made for Richie's department store. It was an exclusive for Richie's department store. Dakin did these for a couple of different stores, and all they did was just change the label on the box, because this did come in a box, but the box is not remarkable at all. It was just a red box with a clear window in the front. There's no designs on it or anything. So it's pretty boring. Loose, the Dakin version, if it still has the Coke bottle, because this is often missing from the Dakin, even from the Rushton, is often missing the Coca-Cola bottle. It's been torn out by some little kid or something. If he's intact and clean and has the bottle, it's worth about $50. And I picked it up at the flea market for $5. I would love for it to have been a Rushton, but I'll take this one. It's still vintage. It's still vintage. I love this kind of stuff. And I do have a bunch of classic, like Santa and Christmas related items. And so this fits right in, and he's in really great shape. He's in really areas. He's looking at you. See, giving you the side eye because he knows you haven't been sticking to your diet. But yeah, the first instinct from a lot of people will be like, "Oh, that's a Rushton. It's worth a fortune." The Rushtons can be real expensive, actually. They can be really expensive. And again, like the reproduction ones from Dakin, probably around $50 without the box. And for $5, yeah, I'll take this for $5 all day. That was a good deal, and I will put it with my other Santa-related items and merchandise. So I was happy to find this today. And he's got a mouth in there somewhere, see? Because he's got to be able to drink his little Coke. He's got to be able to drink his little Coke. So that's your history of the Rushton Classic Santa, who also came in black or brown skinned, or alternate colors. Like I've seen this in white or blue. Those can be incredibly expensive if he's got a different color Santa suit on. If he has a different color Santa suit on. Okay. But I do have a collection of vintage Santa related stuff. And so he will fit in there nicely. And one of these days I'll be able to get a Rushton. I really will. And I saw one at the antique mall today. When we were in the antique mall, I saw a Rushton, an original vintage Rushton Santa. Not this type, though. This is the 16-inch one. They came in different sizes. Okay. They came in different sizes. I'll show you a picture of the one. I took a picture of it. This is the one that I saw at the antique mall, and I checked it. I took a look at it, and it is a legitimate Rushton because they did come like the smaller ones have a vinyl face, vinyl hands, and vinyl boots, and the bigger ones only had a vinyl face. And there's Raccoon joining us. Glad you could make it today, Raccoon, and join us on the live stream. The one in the picture there that I saw in the antique mall is 36 inches tall. He's a 3-foot Rushton Santa, but he is an original one. That one would not have come with a Coca-Cola, okay? And I'm like, oh, hell, I would love to get that, but it's just not in the budget. It's not in the budget. The price that was on it wasn't bad, but just not in the budget. I can't do it right now. It just is what it is. And I put him with my other vintage Christmas related items because you know I have a 3-foot store display Santa that I found at a flea market last year. And I've got some other smaller Santa related merchandise. Saturday Morning says I need a Gizmo or Gremlins for the Christmas toy collection. If it was the LJN ones, I would love to get the LJN Gremlins if I could get them still in the box. But those are pretty expensive. Those are pretty expensive. But I do have some vintage, again, Christmas / Santa related stuff. I do like the old blow molds and things like that. But yeah, I saw that in the mall today and I was like, oh man, you got to be kidding me. I would love to get that. But yeah, just not in the cards right now. Just not in the cards right now. I can't do it. Maybe someday. Can't have everything. Can't have everything. You know how it is. Sometimes you just have to let things go. But yeah, otherwise, that would have come home with me. Otherwise, that would have come home with me today. I would have loved to have picked that up. And I could put it with my others. Saturday Morning says, looks like the Action Santa from the start of Scrooged. Action Santa. That's more like this one. Because I've got this also. This is a vintage motorized Santa with his little bell. He walks and plays Christmas music. Avid says he misses the malls in the 80s with the animatronic Christmas displays. They don't do that anymore. They don't do that anymore. But this is my walking musical Santa, battery operated. He takes 2C batteries and he does work. His little feet. You get the idea. You get the idea. And I have the other ones that I picked up. Who you remember the 3-foot store display Santa I got, right? You guys remember that? I know he's loud. I don't know how well that translated because I know that there's a muffling function on the microphone to try to prevent that. Munin says they used to have that musical Santa. It may still be at the grandmother's house. And Saturday Morning wants to watch Scrooged again. Well, it's almost the season for it. It's almost the season for it. It's coming. And then you can do that. Wouldn't that be cool? But yeah, that's so I have my Dakin / Rushton, my battery operated walking Santa Claus. I've got the super weird like Santa figurine that looks like it's probably from the 1950s that I don't know who the hell made it, that I picked up at the flea market like a couple of weeks ago, if you remember him. And then the big Santa that I don't know if I can move him right now. He's in the corner in front of the fireplace there. And that's what we're doing. Robert wants to know if I'm planning to celebrate Christmas and put up a tree. We really don't do that. We don't really do Christmas like all that, but I do like the vintage Christmas items like these because of just the nostalgia of it. Just for the nostalgia of it. That's the but as far as straight up celebrating Christmas, we don't really do that. We don't really do that. Johnny says, gonna say it till the day I die, George C. Scott is the best Scrooge. But the musical version of Scrooge from the 70s with Scrooge in Hell at the end, one of the best Scrooge scenes ever in a film. And it's a shame that that was cut from it when they aired it on television. People thought that the network thought it was too scary, but it's not. It's hilarious. I've got a clip from on this channel. Actually, I clipped out the Scrooge from Hell segment from that movie, and I put it on the channel for everybody. I did that last year. So let me see here. So I can give you the link for it if you haven't seen it. But you can look it up on the channel, but it'd probably be easier if I do this. And it's so funny. It's absolutely freaking hilarious. Let me see if I can find it real quick here. I can find it easier than you can. Here it is, A Christmas Carol. Scrooge in Hell Lost Nightmare scene. I'll put it on. Right there. And Johnny says the musical. Yes, there is a musical version from the 70s, and it's actually pretty damn good. It's actually pretty damn good. It's fun. It's fun. We have it on disc. The so and you've got to watch the complete version because, like I said, there's an edited version that removes this scene, and it's actually a 7-minute segment because in the musical version, and there's no singing in this segment, by the way. It's all straight up acting. In this scene, when he's over the grave, you know how like he falls into the grave and then he wakes up tangled in his bed sheets? That's not what happens. He falls in and falls and falls and falls. I mean, it looks like the clip from the end of the black hole. And then he lands and he's in hell. He lands in hell. And there's Space Knight. He says, love the demon books behind you based on the impressive nature of the collection. Were you a dealer or did you own a store back in the day? No. Yeah, of course, my demons 1 through 7 on the spinner rack back there. Yes. And I'd shown those in the recent spinner rack video because we do one a month of those. I was a dealer in the 90s, in the early 90s. And then my ex stole my collection. And I did a video on that on this channel a long time ago on toys and comics. And I have not really been a dealer since. I sell things from time to time, but mostly I just collect. T. Stewart wants to know about the Raggedy Ann video. Well, hold on a second, and I'll see if I can pull it up for you. The Raggedy Ann video is amazing. The Raggedy Ann video is amazing because it predicts grading action figures in 1974. I'm trying to remember what year that came out, but it predicted grading toys and action figures in that video. It's the Great Santa Caper, and I'll put the link. I'm going to put the link in here for you so you can capture it. It's well worth watching. What a great special, and it's got Wile E. Coyote in it, sort of. He's not a coyote, but he's the big bad wolf, but it looks and sounds like Wile E. Coyote, and that's the Raggedy Ann Christmas. But what again? No, I don't have a copy of the DVD handy, Johnny, though. All right, Saturday Morning said it was 1978. I couldn't remember what year, but I've got it, and with all the original commercials reinserted back in by yours truly, because I took the original video, and this is what I do with these specials. I separate the proper ad break, and I put period commercials in. So it's going to have 70s Christmas commercials in blocks throughout, and it's going to come out to roughly 30 minutes exactly. I think actually with the intro and outro, it's going to be almost 31 minutes long, but that's only because of the header. But and again, no, Robert, I didn't own a comic book store. I went to shows. But yeah, it's a great special. But it's a lot of work. It's hours and hours and hours to find the right commercials, find the correct ad breaks, insert them. And sometimes, like with this one, YouTube leaves it alone. And sometimes, like with the Fat Albert Christmas special and Halloween special, which are actually really good, they just screw you. They screw you. Nope, you can't put it up. Blocked. And usually it's a music copyright nonsense. And T. Stewart says, thanks. You're welcome. We could do a watch party with them one of these days. We could do a watch party. Hold on a second. Let me fix that. Just hang on a second. No, don't do that. Oh, I know why it's doing that. Okay. T. Stewart says, thanks, you're welcome. Johnny says you put a lot of time into the videos. I do, actually. And Avid says, thanks for the Scrooge in Hell. I love the 70s version. Didn't know it was cut. I didn't know it was cut. You want to see it now? I can cue it up, and you can actually, we can do a little like 7-minute watch party with Scrooge going to hell here, if you're curious. Munin says, do you mean a watch along during a live stream? Yeah, I could do something like that with some of these holiday specials sometimes, because the ones that I did where the actual commercials are in it, because again, and you know, for the amount of trouble that you got to go through to do that sort of stuff, like I said, hours of work just to have YouTube kick you in the teeth. It's insulting. I've got Easter, Christmas, Thanksgiving specials up. I think my Berenstein Bears Thanksgiving special is still up. I think so. I'm not sure. I know they gave me hell for the Daffy Duck Easter one, but it's still up though. But they gave me a hard time. Oh, look at this! Everybody wants me to do it now. Hold on a second. Let me see. You want to watch Scrooge in Hell? It's hilarious. It is hilarious. And like I said, it's up on my channel. Let me see here. Yeah, Scrooge Goes to Hell. Y'all really want to do it? I don't mind. I have 2 yays. I want to see Scrooge in Hell. And again, this is the scene that was cut because it was considered to be too scary for television. And Damien said the new Predator movie is awful. I haven't seen it, but I don't. I wouldn't go to see it because I know how modern films are. I don't even care. And Custom wants to know if I ever listened to the Cinnamon Bear Christmas radio program. That doesn't sound familiar. And Raccoon says yes. Avid or Avid, is it Avid or Avid Dash? Avid Dash. Have you looked into uploading on a different platform? I've tried Rumble. Nobody's there. I put a video up, it gets 3 views on Rumble. There's no audience. No audience on Rumble, unfortunately. But yeah, let's go ahead and run it. Let's go ahead and run it. Let me know if the audio is okay. Scrooge Goes to Hell. Oh, hold on a second. Something's wrong with the audio. All right, let's try that again.
Spirit, you've shown me a Christmas yet to come that mingles great happiness with great sadness. But what is to become of me?
There's Franken Frog joining us. We're looking at a clip that I have up on the channel.
No, no. Please, I beg you. I've seen the error of my ways. I will repent. Truly, I will repent.
Here we go with the longest fall in cinematic history. Notice all the bodies in the wall. That's like the fall from Black Hole or 2001: A Space Odyssey. He just falls forever. And now look. It's a great scene though. And see if you recognize his co-star here when the guy walks out. And again, you can find this on my channel. Correct, David. His co-star is Alex Guinness. Don't touch that. This is the best group from any film in my opinion.
So there you are. Where am I? I should have thought it was obvious. I heard you were coming down today, so I thought I'd come to greet you, show you to your quarters. Nobody else wanted to.
Yep.
That's very civil of you, Marley. I am dead, as a coffin nail. I'd rather hope that Did you indeed? You may find your office here rather small, but not, I trust, unfamiliar.
Office?
Your activities in life were so pleasing to Lucifer that he has appointed you to be his personal clerk. A singular honor. You will be to him, so to speak, what Bob Cratchit was to you.
That's not fair. It's
Diabolical, I must confess. I find it not altogether unamusing. Here we are, my dear Ebenezer.
Yeah.
Your office.
I rather thought I was going to heaven. He's hilarious.
freezing cold in here.
Lucifer turned the heat off. He thought it might make you drowsy.
Yeah.
You'll be the only man in hell who's chilly. Watch out for the rats. They nibble things.
Rats.
Oh, I almost forgot. I knew there was something. They apologize that your chain wasn't ready for your arrival. It's so big, they had to take on extra devils at the foundry to finish it. It's even bigger than I thought it would be. Oh, here it is now.
Do this to me, darling, I beg you.
That's quite a chain, isn't it?
Help me. Help me.
Bah, humbug.
Yep.
Merry Christmas.
Don't leave me, Mary. Help! 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 Help!
That's fantastic. That is fantastic. Yeah, it's an escape room, Johnny. There you go. But yeah, that's Scrooge the Musical 1970, which is actually a really good film. Really good film. It was in our reviews. We did a review last year of the of 10 of several rather Scrooge films that we watched and talked about how good they were or how bad they were. The one with oh God, what is that guy's name from? What is that guy's name? Kelsey Grammer? Kelsey Grammer also did a musical version. The worst Scrooge I've ever seen. That film is pitiful. It's pitiful. Never watch that. Robert likes Patrick Stewart. But Patrick Stewart did a good job. Patrick Stewart did good. Well, he used to do that on stage. Patrick Stewart is a theatrical actor who used to portray Scrooge on stage. So, yeah, he better do a good job. And George C. Scott, of course, did a great job. The Muppet version is pretty fun. You know, Mickey's Christmas Carol version. Oh, yes, Johnny Henry Winkler. And that's the American Christmas Carol. Henry Winkler can indeed act. And the American Christmas Carol version is pretty good, actually. I like that one. And we talked about that one as well. But that's the cutscene It's almost exactly 7 minutes. And I'm like, you cut that out, and that's supposed to be too scary for kids to watch on TV. I don't care if it is the 70s. Okay. I don't I don't think. I don't care if it is the 70s. That's a fun scene. I like it. And again, it's up on the channel, and I have several other specials and all of the any holiday special that I put up. Another one I got in trouble for is the Alf one. I reinserted, and that's an hour-long special, and I put all the commercials back in, and that took a long time. And then they gave me a hard time. They gave me a hard time about the Alf special, and I wish I could get it back up. I do, but what are you going to do? It's unfortunate because that's good stuff. I'm going to try to put them back up sometime, and we'll see. We'll see. But the Alf special was really good. It better than the show. The show, Alf, you can take it or leave it. Actually, over time, the show got kind of tedious, and I got tired of watching it. It was a cute novelty for the time. But, yeah, Alf wears on your nerves after a while. If you watch the whole thing. Was it 5 seasons? And the cartoon show is pretty bad. It's just lame. But the Christmas special, actually really, really well done, well acted, good story. It was surprisingly good. I'm pretty sure I still have it. Saved in my computer. The Alf Christmas special and the 2 Fat Albert specials they made me take down, or they took down. The Fat Albert Easter special is trash. It's not even worth looking at. But the Christmas and Halloween specials are phenomenal. They're excellent, excellent specials. And there you go. But yeah, the Raggedy Ann one is definitely worth checking out, and I had put the link up earlier so that you guys can find it. So that you guys can find it. And where is it? That's it. I'll put it back up there on the screen for anybody who didn't see that. You can find it on the channel. Because for some reason, and I get it, people have difficulty tracking down stuff on the channels sometimes. I put all of my commercial blocks into a playlist, by the way. So if you look in playlists, you can find it. You can find it. And Space Knight wanted to know if I liked selling at the shows. Sometimes, because some customers can be a real pain in the butt. But otherwise, I didn't mind it. And I do that occasionally. Last year, I only set up a table like once at a show. And the year before that, I did it 3 times at different shows, just getting rid of extra stuff. But it's not something I really want to do all the time anymore, like back in the 90s. Back in the 90s, that's what I did for a living for a while, you know. Robert wants to know why they gave me a hard time about Alf. Because of some piano music somewhere in the middle of the special that doesn't even match anything that I can tell. They just gave me a hard time. They gave me a hard time. But so if I could remove that music somehow, maybe I can get the special back up. I can try. I've got some really good ones that I've done a lot of work on, and it's a shame. The Berenstein Bears ones, the original 70s Berenstein Bears specials are actually really good. Are really, really good. But and I enjoyed doing it. But if I do it, I'd like for people to at least be able to freaking see it. You know what I mean? I would like for people to at least be able to see it. That's just not cool. That they do that. But I do have, let me see. Let's see what I have up. Yeah, I've got Okay. I've got the Berenstain Bears Valentine, Daffy Duck's Easter, Raggedy Ann Christmas, Berenstain Bears Easter, Family Circus Easter, BC Thanksgiving. So, well, they took my other one. I had more than that. They took some more down and didn't tell me. They took some more down and didn't tell me. I had a BC Christmas also. Spike wants to know if I tried the site Internet Archive. No, that doesn't sound familiar. That doesn't sound familiar. But yeah, those are the current specials that I have that look like they're still up, that haven't been interfered with. And a couple of these, the Daffy Duck Easter special and the Berenstain Bears Easter special, they set both of them to made for kids. They said it. Johnny says you appeal every time, right? Yes. And within less than 60 seconds, I get a rejection in my email when I do the appeal. So AI, their bot asks their other bot, and then they just kick me in the teeth. So the appeal process doesn't work. Nobody's actually looking at the appeal. Less than 60 seconds, no one looked at my appeal. But yeah, it looks like they took down my BC Christmas, my Fat Albert Christmas, Fat Albert Halloween. Trying to remember, of course, the Alf Christmas, and I'm sure I had a couple others that I had worked on. And again, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work for them to just pull the rug out from under you and sometimes not even tell you. Like I said, the BC Christmas is missing, and I know I put it up there and it's not there. It's not there. It's frustrating. It's frustrating. But what are you going to do? And I try to do a lot of stuff like that because to me, it's very nostalgic. All of the old commercials, the Terry Tate commercials, hilarious. I've got the entire Terry Tate anthology from Reebok. Those are very funny. I'm the only Easter. I have a block of Easter, Valentine, Thanksgiving, Halloween, and Mother's Day commercials. Oh, and St. Patrick's Day. I'm the only one on YouTube that has those. Try finding them. I'm the only one that ever did it. The only one that the other one that Halloween. Oh, no, Halloween. There is a couple of other people that have Halloween, and mostly what you find is Christmas. I'm the only one that did the other holidays. Can't find them. Johnny says, "Did they make you do what's called copyright school, where you watch a 6-minute video to get the strike expunged?" I never got that kind of a strike where they threaten the channel. That's different. What I get is I get the advertiser strike, where they either block it or they tell me that all the ad revenue will go to someone else. But I never got in that kind of trouble. But yeah, YouTube has gotten really weird with that, and especially in the last few years. I think I talked about it last week. The Professor of Rock has a channel. He's a DJ who interviews musicians, real musicians from the 60s, 70s, and 80s, and has permission to use their music clips from the musicians, and YouTube still gives him copyright strikes. And he's like, why? And he's done videos on it. What the hell am I getting strikes for? I have authorization. You can't do that if I have permission. But you can't tell their AI anything. And the AI is stupid. It doesn't really know what it's doing. It doesn't understand what you're talking about. Not really. And you can't reason with it. David wants me to look up alternative platforms. But again, on those alternative platforms, though, honestly, there's no audience. There's nobody there to see the stuff. And that's the problem. Like I said, I've tried Rumble, I've tried Patreon. Nobody's there. Space Knight wants to know if I ever collect Hot Wheels or Matchbox. They were big back in the day. Yeah, when I was a kid, I had a ton of Matchbox and Hot Wheels cars. I don't have them anymore. And I don't really look into that. I'm not big on that now, but I did when I was a kid. But yeah, now I don't go after that kind of stuff. Oh, and here's the Thanksgiving special. I may as well, hold on a second. Because it's now it's giving me a hard time. Let me try that again. Yeah, sure. Hold on a second. They're trying to ScrewTube giving me a hard time. Here we go. Here's the Thanksgiving special. I'll put it up for you so you can see the link. There, that's the BC Thanksgiving. And BC is the comic strip. They had holiday specials in the 70s. And that is the BC Thanksgiving with all of the original commercials again, reinserted back in by yours truly. And that one, might be fun for the holiday to, track that one down. I should have put up the Berenstein Bears one too, because I think did they still? I know the Berenstein Bears Easter and Valentine's Day was on there. Is the Thanksgiving one still on there? I need to look because I just thought about that. Because I know I did the Thanksgiving. I know I did the Thanksgiving from BC. And it's not on the list. It's gone. They took it down and didn't tell me. Son of a bitch. They took it down and they did not tell me. That is aggravating. I tell you. And this is my, I'll put this link up also. This is my Thanksgiving commercial block. Is this one. And I think it's the only one on YouTube. And it's about a half an hour long. 70s and 80s Thanksgiving commercials exclusively. And it's just fun to hit that little nostalgia button. You'd be surprised, the commercials will remind you of your childhood more than the shows. But yeah, these would be fun again for the holiday. There I am. It got weird for a second. I'm going. Anyone else seeing an interruption? I'm going to see if I still. That's the third time. Anyone else seeing interruptions? I'm going to see if I still have in my archive the For those of you who are still here, and if you can even hear me, I don't know if the audio is working. Yeah, some disconnection happened and I could not get it to function again. And so now I'm in the office and I just wanted to at least be able to wrap this up. Sorry about that. And I see Uncarded Reviews is here. Yeah, we had a problem. We had a big technical problem with the internet disconnecting and I had to reconnect it. But then the computer in that room has to be reset if there's a disconnect. And it's just caused a nightmare of problems. And then, unfortunately, if you can't get back into the system, YouTube thinks that you're still connected unless you end it on StreamYard. So I've got to get back online and get into StreamYard, or YouTube will just keep going. Because for some reason, it doesn't understand that, oh, the stream ended. I guess there's no more video coming. And then there you are. Yeah, Nerd says I knew it was YouTube because otherwise it could have just shut off. You see what I'm saying? It should have just shut. Oh, there's no more stream coming. Okay, we'll just stop it right there. No, can't do it. Can't do it. So sorry about that. We were, and there's Master was on there. So I don't know what the hell happened, but yeah, sorry about that. That's frustrating. I was just going through their BC Thanksgiving and the other Thanksgiving commercial block. And again, I'm up in the office right now. I at least wanted to get on and just apologize for that and round things up anyways, if nothing else. That's just aggravating the way that all works. Yeah, space technology, that's what's in it for you. This is what's in it for you. So yeah, absolutely aggravating to no end how that works. And again, it was a complete cable disconnection. For some reason, it just shut down, and I needed to get back in, even just to stop from StreamYard's end, so that YouTube would put an end to that video. Now, anybody goes to watch that video, they'll see it just drop off and wonder what the hell's going on. It's frustrating. So, hey, I'll go ahead and just officially wrap things up now. Thanks, everybody, and appreciate some of you sticking around. Hope you had a good time. Thanks especially to Pastor Rick and to Stone Sour for making donations to the channel to help us out with our shelter cats, our felines. Again, they're all doing well. Currently taking care of 13 of them. Try to do this again next week. Hopefully we won't have as many problems as we did this week. I think we got kicked off a couple of times last week and cycled too, huh? And Johnny wants to know if I can see the new comments. I think I can, because like I said, from the YouTube perspective, YouTube won't stop unless it's officially closed out on StreamYard. So they'll just assume it's ongoing and it's still running. And that's why I had to get back online to officially close this, or else I'll end up with a stream that's like days long as far as YouTube is concerned. They just won't stop. But yeah, thanks everybody for joining us here this evening. Hope you had a good time. And we'll try this again next week. So we'll catch you, and watch out for the Funko video coming up. We will be having a discussion on Funko coming up. So thanks everybody, and we'll catch you again sometime.